The Vanishing Village of Angikuni, 1930, Nunavut, Canada. High-retention storytelling script, 450 words. They say the Arctic keeps its secrets buried beneath the snow, but on one bitter night in 1930, a secret didn't stay hidden. It escaped. The story begins with a lone fur trapper named Joe LaBelle trudging across the frozen barrens of Nunavut. For days, he'd been pushing through icy winds and endless white, his only guide the distant memory of a village he'd once visited, Angikuni, a remote lakeside community where warmth, laughter, and the glow of firelight had once cut through the cold. But this time, the silence met him first. No barking dogs, no voices, not even the scrape of a sled runner across snow. Just an unsettling stillness that made the hairs on his arms rise beneath his coat. Curious and uneasy, he approached the first igloo. Inside, empty. Completely empty. Blankets left neatly folded, a pot still hanging over a cold hearth as if someone had stepped out for a moment and never returned. Label moved to the next home, then another and another, all silent, all abandoned, all waiting as if time itself had frozen with the cold. He ventured toward the center of the village, calling out names he remembered, softly at first, then louder, his voice echoing across the barren lake. But the only answer was the wind curling around the empty structures. Even the sled dogs, usually tethered near the outskirts, were gone, or worse, found lying in the snow, untouched, as if whatever happened came swiftly and without struggle. The deeper LaBelle searched, the heavier the dread grew. Not a single footprint led away from the village. No signs of packing, no broken tools, no hurried tracks. It was as if the people of Angikuni had simply melted into the night. When he finally stumbled into the nearest telegraph station, frostbitten and shaking, he delivered a message that would ignite decades of debate. The village of Angikuni has vanished. From there, the story spiraled. Mounties dispatched, rumors swelled, newspapers scrambled for answers. Some spoke of spirits. Others claimed mass migration. And skeptics insisted the whole story was the result of miscommunication, exaggeration, or reporters eager for a sensational headline. Yet something about that abandoned village lingers in the collective memory, because people know the difference between an ordinary disappearance and a silence that feels wrong. Even today, nearly a century later, the vanishing village of Angikuni remains suspended between myth and mystery. The cold winds of Nunavut still sweep across its empty shores, carrying with them a single unbroken question. What really happened that night? And perhaps the Arctic still knows, but the snow isn't ready to tell. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share and subscribe to help the channel grow.